Yeah, man, yes, gotta say, 7 days a week, good vibes only. On YouTube, for the good vibes story.
And you know what gets on my nerves, right? I don't know if you guys know, but there's these no movement days, right? In Jamaica at this point. And, you know, people lick up about partying and all them can't go party. And this, that, and the third. I understand for the working people that you're losing pay. I'm with y'all. I understand that. Recently, some official got caught breaking the rules of the no movement.
No music for
and this. You know that 5,000 people signed a petition to get this man out of office. And I'm saying to myself, the school system broke, right?
Yeah.
The school system need fixing, right? Why can't 3 million of us sign a petition for the government to do something about our schools?
Or even 5,000 more. Why not 10,000 of us? And I know it's more than 10,000 of us in Jamaica. Parents
like, oh, you rally for party, rally for the education and the program for the kids.
Right.
How about that?
All these stuff that we're talking about for the kids. Your parents need to let these MPs and councillors coming in your place.
Facts.
Right? So this is what I was saying. With that, I was gonna get to the point, but I allow you to, flood them. Listen, these politicians, you guys need to let them know when they walk in your community, at
what
your
you
gate. You're gonna let them know that, hey, you're working for me.
Okay.
I'm not working for you. This is what I want from my kid, so he doesn't come up to be a gang leader or a gang ring, whatever they call them in the gang, whatever. You need to let these politicians know, like, hey, this is what I want.
Yeah, and this is what we expect.
Have to give you. Do not let them tell you that after you vote you get it. Do not.
That's one of the biggest lies they tell.
Take that.
And when them come around with them look at $2,000 and $5,000, do not take it. I understand that. You know, you hit a rough time, but at the same time, let's rally for better pay. What you call it? Minimum wage.
Yeah.
That's what we should be attacking them for. The taxes.
Like 16 something and 16.
Why can't we, as a collective, block road and protest? I've seen people protest for some. I wasn't even gonna say it.
Them protests
for stuff like that. Willing to put their bodies on the front line for a human being that they know and dirty.
I've never seen my community protest to say, hey,
the school want new roof.
Let's get the school
we need
some computers.
No?
I've never seen my community done that. Never. You know what I'm saying? Only thing they're glad for is that $5,000 that Mr. Dickey want to give them right? On any other MP.
Or, a Labor Day where them go whitewash the tree them and stuff.
And the walls for candlelights, yo. Like, they pay them to whitewash.
This is the thing. Like, this is why I'm upset, because we have so much power as citizens and voters to vote with conscience and put in people. Right now, I'm neither for either party out there now. Get this straight, because the whole of them are thief and crook. Yeah. Them only care about themselves and them pocket.
True.
See? So we as people have to be a collective and move towards better stuff, because I'm not saying that entertainment is not. You need it sometime, because you go through look at something you want to go and party, but balance it now.
Yeah.
Balance it. I'm not going die-hearted for some party and stuff for go spend money. But if the school asks you for a little mention for paint up the school all hell and powder house.
Well, for my son's school, I don't think so. I'm paying too much for them to ask me for contribution. You can ask for that for the public school. Like the school I usually attend, I never really pay a school fee for that. So for that, I totally understand that.
Because we're talking about community based. I'm not talking about prep schools and stuff like that. That is another saga altogether.
Right.
Okay. So, but I'm saying like for the neighborhood schools or, you know, the people that don't have money to send their kids to prep schools or things like that, we need to invest in those. Because I went to a primary school and let me tell you, it's one of the best educations I have and teachers I've ever come across.
Right. Yeah, we all know prep ain't that anymore. So
and we could even have a
full right now.
And we need to invest in those so there's no difference between. I don't see no difference.
It should be yes, but like I said, the government should hold accountable.
We vote in the government.
You know what I'm saying? Stop letting these people. Listen, all these stuff that we need for the young kids, right? All these programs. You know who we give the money to build them? The government. Listen, they don't even ask you how much money they should take out your pay. They take what they want out your pay. These people take your money. Right, knowing that they're working for us.
You know what's crazy too? Have any regular citizens go to these when they're making these laws and regulation? Has any do citizens have access to that?
We don't even know.
Furthermore, them write it in some language.
It's like 300 pages here in America. I don't know what it is in Jamaica.
That's another thing we should advocate for, because it should be in language that a regular citizen can come in and be like, okay, this is what this law is going to do. It's going to do A, B, C, D. It's written in such language that the regular folks can't understand.
A parent can still raise her son to be a good kid. Listen, she can raise him to be a good kid, and just by going to the corner store, he start mixing with the wrong heads, right? So we know this. My thing is, right? And I know it's a parent thing. Everyone be like, oh, you blame the government too much. No, I'm not blaming
everyone has their part.
I am saying, right? Just that part I want to talk about. Because the government take your money and was supposed to be working for you and to make sure that these are in place for your kid, even though you're going to pay to use it. Because if the government build a road for you, trust me, he's going to put a toll on it and collect back money for it. So we know they're going to charge us to build it, right? Take our money to finish it up and still take money for us to use it. We know this. All I'm saying that they need to get older accountable, because if these kids, right, if these kids had these programs that the government should have provided, because you as a parent, right? How the hell can you build a recreational center?
No, and we don't, and some parents don't have the time, you know, they have to work and let them work until 7 o'clock. So
they already I want to talk on the Jamaican matter. They're already getting minimum wage. They're already getting less than maybe 20 something grand bi-weekly.
Yeah,
there's not much that they can do from that. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people be like, oh, why you got 7 kids? Blah, 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 blah. Stop.
But that, I feel like we'll be going into another thing, but that's a legit question, because if there was family planning and all of that, something should have been done.
Yeah, you can't have 7 kids and then still in poverty and then wondering, hey, why the government not giving you food? I'm not saying that. That's why I said that. So before you even go there, you should think about this as a parent. If you had 2 child already and it's already rough, why have a 3rd one? You should not. You know what I'm saying? And I'm telling you to go and abort anything. You go on family planning and use condom. You tell your guy to pull out.
And just be smart of it.
Be smart of that. Because if you do that, and then you got 7 kids, and then you be like, oh, Andrew not doing this. That's not Andrew's business.
And I love
it's not
that.
Andrew's business to provide food for you.
It starts at what can each way to call it. Each part of this, what part do everyone play? The parents have a part,
right?
Citizens who are voters and everything, you know, there's a part there, and the government have to play their part. And if we don't highlight certain things that they're not doing and hold them accountable, they're not gonna do anything, because it's like, okay, they only care about entertainment. They only care about, you know, the money what they get around like election time.
Selling
and out the you know what? And if you think that we're being biased, let us know in the comments, because
but that's why I want to ask
seeing this for years.
Yeah, this is what I want to ask the question. What you think the politicians should do that the parents can't?
Yes, like, and also I want to flip that back as the parent. You as a parent, if you have children or you have, you know, little kids in your life or whatever, what can you do?
Yeah.
Because you can't leave this up to everybody. Everybody plays a part, as we said. So as the person, and if you don't even have kids, what can you do? Because there's lobbying. Go to these official meetings that they say public can go to and see what these politicians are doing,
what they're talking
with the budget, different things like that, and ask question. Yeah. Ask to see the budget. Is that even public?
No, but they have the media that goes in there and probably record them for the whole day. TVJ and CVM, they're probably going to record them for the whole day, and guess what? They put a 10-second briefing on the news.
Argument.
Of an argument that someone falling asleep in Parliament. It's ridiculous. There's nothing else. The most important stuff, you don't get it on the news. They're only going to give you the part where Dr. Charles fall asleep or whoever. Mandela or whoever they have that fall asleep in Parliament.
So it's just heartbreaking sometimes, because I know it can take one person to change a person's life. One person. A mentor.
They probably look
something.
to the Prime Minister. They probably be like, Andrew. Yeah, I saw this video. The guy was like, the wire. They'd be like, it's Andrew. The light went out. He said it's Andrew. It's everything. He was blaming the Prime Minister. It was supposed to be.
And you know what? Another thing that grinds my gear is when they choose side and neither of them good.
And
neither of them good, because and this is what they do when one side is in winning, they help, quote unquote, some of their people, right?
Yeah.
And then when the next side, so it's like it's not helping across the board, it's helping who they feel like they should help. So I honestly don't get it when people choose sides now. They're bullshit. Sorry, I said it.
Right. Okay. We kind of just went in on the politicians right there. You know, it was overwhelming. What do you think make the good youths turn bad? Like we know we just discuss it when we touch why maybe because of the infrastructure that's not there for them.
And I also like how, you know, when they're young and they do one thing, that record follows them, right? There is no chance of redemption or even correcting things.
But how do we go up giving them redemption and correcting that? Because we talked about sometimes, you know, everyone made mistakes before, you know, myself, probably you, we all done something.
They can revamp the justice system. Why? And not have things linger on records if they're doing community service.
So you think after they
doing the counseling, right? Okay. So if you say something like we put the after schools and stuff that we wanna put in, right?
Yeah.
But if somebody then not partaking in that and still do something like, okay, there needs to be consequences, right? But also, you see why I feel like criminal stuff keeps happening over and over, especially here. When you go, right, sometimes people did one thing or get caught in the wrong place at the wrong time, right? And they go and they come back, people treat them like shit. So there is not even, what's the point of a redemption if you're gonna use whatever happened that time and beat me with it? I can't get a job because they don't hire felons, right?
So you think after somebody spend their time like a juvenile, let's say a juvenile did something, it's very young, he goes in at a juvenile center at the age of 14 for a crime that he did, he comes back out when he's 25, right? Do you think after spending the time and the correctional office, which is what they say, correct him for what he did. Like, why is it still on his record?
Right, but and even because then that could be like, okay, you've shown yourself that you're doing some work, right? I believe those things should help people re-enter as better citizens, and countries around the world are doing that. They don't do that to the people that go. Like, of course, murder is wrong. I'm not saying that, there should not be a consequence. But at the same time, if they've served their time, they're re-entering society. You want them to re-enter society as a different person, as a person willing to change their life. But if things are just as bad as when they left, and they don't have no refuge, no nothing, of course they're going to go back to what they were doing. They're going to go back to what they're doing. There's a 75% chance they might go back and do the same thing. So what prisons or the justice system should be working on rehabilitating the people that's there. I've seen programs that people do where they use peers to do different groups in there. Gotcha. Like therapeutic groups. Then be like, you know what? When we realize, so the world we saw, our father left at a tender age, and when they feel like so we have to become the man in the household.
Okay.
And me first start do this and this, and that's why I'm going to badness. If you fall like this trauma.
Yeah, no, but when my grandpa dad died, my dad didn't finish high school.
He had to go do adult things.
He had to do adult stuff at the age of 15 or something like that. And that's when schooling was done for him. And that didn't stop him from achieving his goal.
Right.
So a lot of these kids, not because I'm here advocating for you, meaning for you that you can be like, okay, I do bad and then it's just a mistake. No, you can.
You can make good decisions. Yeah.
For the ones that have done bad and wants to redeem themselves, you can redeem yourself now. You can move on to better stuff, because one thing we know, the road, the street on the bad lane or whatever, once you take that path,
slippery.
Bro, it's nothing looking good back there. You know what I'm saying? I'm not telling you to become a slave in this industry or whatever, because you can stop the badness, right? You can stop the wrongdoing, and you can come in here and be a boss. You can come in here and start your own business.
Change your trajectory. And we'd be interested to speak to people. Even though I don't know if we'll be able to speak, if anyone willing to speak on that, be like, what would it take for you to stop doing this?
Right. I think they could come and be anonymous. They could come if they think that,
because maybe there's something that it will be a perspective that we're missing. Like, what would it take for you to, or have you ever thought of, just giving up and wanting to rest and yeah.
Pull yourself up, guys. I'm telling you. There's a lot of good out there. And you know what's crazy, babe? Mm-hmm. It's always hard doing good. It's so easy doing bad.
Oh yeah.
So
bad
easy.
Things find you sometimes.
So easy. If you want to be a rude boy right now, it's the easiest thing to do.
Yeah, it's the end thing, I guess.
But let us say, hey, and let a good kid be like, hey, I don't want to do bad, right? I want to become a master electrician. It's the hardest thing for that kid.
Oh yeah.
They tell him, okay, you got to go to college, you got to do this, you got to spend this much here, and they tell him all these stuff, and it's like, yo, the kid just wanted to be a good master electrician. Why do you guys make it so difficult for them?
To get
After there. You make that so difficult for these young kids to do good, right? Then they come and be like, okay, you told me to get this, I'm applying now. Sir, we need some experience. Where the hell are these young kids gonna get experience from?
Why doesn't schooling and internships count? That's my thing.
You know what I'm saying? So for the bigger heads out there, bro, stop making it so hard for the good kids. Because then I think when you make this hard for the good kids, that's when they become bad kids.
And you know what?
They have no other alternative.
Yeah, and I could have taken, I've even complained to you when I was applying for jobs and things. babe, like they want 7 years experience. When? Why doesn't my experience in school count? I'm doing work towards the job title that I'm applying for. Why doesn't these internships pay you? They're treating you like you're an actual worker. You're taking on workload and doing everything that a regular worker does, but they don't pay you. So it's just like more of these companies need to start taking chances on people, because you're gonna train them anyway. So it's not like, you still have to train them how your company runs. So is it that you need experience, or you just need a person that's willing to work?
That's true.
And that shows you they have the potential to work. Why doesn't that suffice?
Yeah, because the potential is one. I've vouched for a lot of young kids.
That's true.
Listen, you're seeing it.
Yeah.
They played out to be nothing good, because you'll be like, oh, they're young, I want to give them a chance, because I want to believe in them. I want to be that guy. Like when I'm coaching or training them in the company, once they're young, I'll be like, okay, this is good, but a lot of them don't want to do it. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to do it. It's like you're trying to force them up the hill, you know what I'm saying? And it's so difficult.
Yeah.
And for the ones that out there that actually want to do good, all I'm saying is, like, give them a chance. Any big company guy watching this or anything, if you see a young kid come up, bro, just give them a chance.
Don't harden your heart on young people.
Yeah, give them a chance. Because you're not going to pay them a lot. Like, they're going to do stuff.
Which is not fair, but we talk about that another time.
Let them redeem themselves. So, I said, because if a lot of company needs the requirements and all this stuff, and you have a guy that's not going to ask you for those requirements, but only thing he's not going to pay you good, I think you should take that job. Even though it's not paying you good, it's not something good he's doing by not paying you good, but he's doing something good to let you gain experience.
Yeah.
So you guys got to look at all these stuff too, because a lot of you young guys are entering a job and then you expect this high thing that you need from people, but no, you got to start somewhere small, bro.
Yes, and we're not saying that you don't deserve what you think you deserve, but you have to work towards it.
You got to work. So when you get there and you need a job, don't discriminate on the jobs that you're on. We talk about jobs and career already, so that's why I said if you need a job, don't discriminate on it. And go ahead, do what you got to do. Wash your hands, collect your money. And
you know what too? Any job that you have, there is a way to take transferable skills from it. I was I was a security officer. You know what I took from it to work for my social work career? Working with people, learning to communicate in different ways. Right? Sales rep, you had to sell a certain product. You know how to market and present. So every job that you just need to sit and think about it. You'd be like, what does this job entail, and how can I use the skills that what if you had a disgruntled customer and you were able to calm them down and provide the assistance that they need? That's huge. It's transferable skills. So don't look down on any job, because you can take what you've learned from there and make it apply to other things.